Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Facebook Live. Great to see everyone here. So let me know that you are here in the comment section so I can say hello. And then we'll get started in about 1 minute. Say hello, hello. Let's see who's here. Brenda's here. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Tina. So my son is in the background. He's not feeling that great, so he's hanging out next to mommy. So we got a little scene over there in the back. Sneaky, sneaky. So who's here? Hannah's here. Anita's here. Manu's here. Awesome. Ooh, this is fun. Lots of people here. Alrighty, welcome everyone. Really excited to talk about today's topic. So I'm gonna actually dive right in. So in the past 2 weeks, I spoke a lot about, Christy's here. Hello, Crystal. I keep calling you Christy. One day will get it right, I promise. And Lisa's here. Hey everyone, so good to see everyone. Okay, so anyways, in the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we did a ton of the 3-day boot camp training. We did a ton of Facebook Lives, actually 7 to be exact, on all different topics on just being a better leader, creating a better culture, understanding the 4 pillars of your school, creating the right environment, how to help your teachers learn from mistakes. There's so much going on in the past couple weeks, and we actually just kicked off today the Director's Inner Circle. Karen is here. Hi, Karen. And Corbin. Hey, Corbin. Good to see you. So today I want to talk about something very specific, which is laying the foundation for ownership. And a lot of you, excuse me, have already started the school year. For those of you that already had your first staff meeting, I hope that you use some of the strategies that I taught you in the boot camp training. And then also just some strategies for meetings, etc. But today, I want to talk about laying the foundation in the one-on-one meeting specifically. So when you're going to be meeting with your staff in the next couple weeks, a lot of you are going to take the time to meet with each teacher individually. Whether she's a veteran teacher who's coming back for her 10th year, 20th year, 30th year, or this is her very first year in the school, it doesn't matter. Every single teacher needs that one-on-one time, even if you give her 15 minutes, where you're just laser focused on her. And the reason for that is because this meeting is actually going to lay the strongest foundation for ownership. How? You want to ask her questions about what she is looking forward to accomplishing this year. What is she looking forward into? What are some going to be her goals or some of her even micro goals for this coming month? Now, the benefit of having the meeting with the veteran teacher is you know already what kind of teacher is she. Is she someone that wants to set these big, audacious goals that she's going to accomplish throughout the year? Or is she the kind of person that needs to set a micro goal for the next month, the next 2 weeks? And then you're really asking her and you're not offering any input. That's the key here. Laying the foundation for ownership is not adding your 2 cents, okay? So for those of you that joined the EC Leadership Conference that I hosted back in February, Marshall Goldsmith was one of the speakers there. And one of the things that he spoke about was how we rob our people from ownership, from taking initiative, and from any kind of accountability, and it's our fault. And why? Because we are constantly poaching their ideas. We are constantly adding our 2 cents to every single thing that the teacher has to say. The teacher will say, oh, I'm really excited about this new initiative. I'm going to do this. And we're like, oh, that's a great idea. And you could also do this. Great. You just stripped away all the ownership that the teacher will ever have to that idea, because now it's not her idea. Now it's your idea. okay? So before I just walk you through a couple of the steps of doing this right, just by a show of hands or yeses, tell me if you are guilty of adding your 2 cents when teachers share ideas with you. Yes. We have our first honest yes. Guilty. Yes. It's so hard, especially since we know that we can make the idea better or it could be better. It's so difficult to be quiet. And I totally get that because as someone that just loves to talk, I'm so guilty of doing that. Brenda says, yes, yes, awesome. Okay, lots of yeses, because it's very, very normal, okay? And that actually poaches ownership because when the teacher says she's going to do something, we have to give her the control and the trust that she's going to do it. That's the formula for the ownership. Giving control, giving her the trust is going to equal the ownership. So laying the foundation is asking her, hey, Corbett, really excited that you're back on board this year, or really excited to have you on board this year. I'd really love to hear from you. What is something that you're really looking forward to challenging yourself with, or something that you're looking forward to accomplishing in the next month? And she might look at you like, what, the next month? Like this year, I want to, no big goals, just this month. What are you looking forward to succeeding in this month? What is something that you have on your mind for this coming month? I really want to hear from you. And then really genuinely listen. That means eye contact, eyeball. Okay, we spoke about this in the bootcamp training, eyeball accountability. Look into the person's eyes when you're asking them that question. It's extremely powerful, okay? People avert their eyes because it gets them uncomfortable. Keep your eye on the person. Show them that you're genuinely listening. Lean in forward and zip your mouth. Just have duct tape next to you. Like, just remind yourself to just shush. Because the more that you quiet, the more you hold the space for the teacher to actually think. Okay, this is a deep question and not everyone's going to have the answer. So she might tell you something, I don't know, I haven't really thought about it. What are some of your ideas? Okay, and this is very common, especially if you set the tone that you're always the person that shares ideas. Okay, and so you can be vulnerable back and actually tell her, sorry, hang on one second. Mendeleev, I actually need you to stop because it's disturbing the thing over here, okay? Thank you. Okay, sorry about that. I lost my train of thought. Okay, so if she asks you and's like, okay, could you tell me, what are some of your ideas or whatever it is, that might be because you've already set the tone that you're the person that kind of gives the ideas, and you could say, you know what? I know that I usually share a lot of ideas and whatever it is, and I know that you like them. Something that I'm working on this year is actually not jumping to respond right away because I actually really want to hear what you have to say. I think that you have a lot to offer. And just actually lay it out there on the table. And the crazy part is that the more that we share these things, the more honest and open we are with our staff, the more they're going to do the same thing for us. So, is this resonating with you? And tell me if you think this is something that you can actually commit to doing. Tell me that in the comments. The eyeball accountability is what makes the meeting different from the professional development when we wrote down our ideas. I'm not sure what you're asking, Devorah. It sounds like a good question, but if you could just phrase it a little differently so I can understand what you're asking. Can practice and commit to trying. Awesome, Lisa, thank you. All right, anybody else? Let's see who else is here. Barbara's here, Hannah, Anita, tell me. Absolutely. Masha says, sir, I'm late. What is the question to ask them? The question is asking them what is their goal that they want to commit to doing for the next month. And when they tell you, I don't know, I haven't really thought about it, do you have ideas, being quiet and actually telling them that you want them to do the thinking. As much as you have the best idea for them to work on, and as much as you have a great challenge that you want them to focus on, don't tell them. Let them be the ones that say it. Absolutely, I'm going to commit to trying. Awesome. Awesome. I like the way that no one said I'm too busy to try. This morning I actually went on this rant in the lounge talking about how I hate the word busy. It drives me insane whenever I reach out to directors. I'll ask them a question. They'll be like, I've actually been like uber busy. Yeah, because I've actually spoken to a director once told me, oh my God, Khani, I am so bored. Tell me something that I could do. Find me a director that is bored. I will pay you. I will pay you if you find me a director that's bored. No one is bored. Everyone has an overstuffed plate. Have to find the time to do these things. So I love that every person here is committing to trying, because there's no such a thing as a bored director. Okay, so we spoke about asking what question to ask, how to hold the space for her. So it's really, that's a huge piece. I'm an idea robber. Oh, I like that. I need to make the time to do this. Okay, first of all, Crystal, you totally made me laugh out loud. I love the term idea robber. And so making the time, Crystal, what you'll find is that if you're actually really intently listening, and every time you feel like jumping in, you tell yourself, hold it, and just breathe, it'll be a lot easier not to interrupt or whatever it is. Like a lot of times, I'll be talking to my husband and he'll be sharing something and I so badly want to interject and like share my own 2 cents. And I constantly just I just keep my eyes on him, and like when I'm focused, I'm like, okay, I'm listening right now. So just shut up and not interrupt right now, because that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. Right now I'm supposed to be listening. And he'll create the space for me to speak. He knows I like to speak, so he'll make sure to pause so I can come in and say something. So I think that it's important to like have your eyes on the person so that you're really focused in that kind of way. My teachers will be writing down their goals professionally. We're going to email them to remind them. Where does this fall in? Yeah, so Devorah, actually, when we spoke on the phone on Thursday, I was telling you about like the eyeball accountability piece, like even having that Skype session or that one-on-one session, because that goal concept really creates that eyeball accountability, like when you're like focusing them on their face. Email reminders are great after you've had the initial like face-to-face interaction with the person, right? So like I do a lot of face-to-face Zoom sessions, Skype, and all that, and I hold people accountable all the time through email or through Facebook messages or all that kind of stuff. But it has to start with the relationship. Rivka says, I love you're making a goal per month so it's not overwhelming for the director or for the teacher to have a yearly goal. Yeah, yearly goals don't work. They're really unreasonable. They do not work. They're so unattainable. It's like saying I want to lose 30 pounds this year. No, say I want to lose 5 pounds in the next 3 weeks. A lot more attainable, a lot more achievable. And also I'm not going to go into goal setting right now. That's a whole different concept. And for those of you that are in the inner circle, we're going to be talking about that at the goal planning session on Thursday. So I'm going to go over it then. Corbin says, I think I could work on this. Today I struggled with this on our butcher paper project. I kept helping them come up with different options for their goals. Corbin, I love that you shared that you did this example and the struggle that you had. So I'm just going to repeat this again. So Corbin did the butcher paper example, which is actually a strategy that I gave how to kick off the staff meeting of the year. And she writes that she struggled with it because she kept on trying to help them come up with different options for their goals. And it's so normal that you did this because it's the first time that you're trying this exercise. So don't expect to be perfect right off the bat, right? Like no one does deadlifting and picking up 50 pounders or bench presses the first time they're picking up weights. They pick up 2 pounders, 5 pounders, maybe 8 pounders. So I love that you're recognizing the little failure in that, because that's a great way to pick yourself up the next time, recognizing, okay, last time I gave them way too many ideas. So what can I do this time to stop myself so I hold the space more for them? I love that. I really, really love that. Okay. So Esther says, we need to become comfortable with uncomfortable silence. That's ultimately the bottom line. I mean, no one likes silence. And again, it's a skill. The more you train yourself to just shush and hold the space, the easier it becomes. At what point do we step in and focus on goal to the idea? Manu, can you just rephrase your question? Because I'm not sure I understand what you're asking. Amanda's here. Awesome. So yeah, Manu, just rephrase your question if you can. So while she's rephrasing her question, I just want to tell you guys, so in 3 weeks ago, we started the boot camp training, which was 3 days where we spoke about the 4 pillars of the school: environment and culture, implementation strategy. We did a ton of Facebook Live trainings, and lots of directors who were here were interested in joining the inner circle. Some people were able to join, some people weren't able to join. And a lot of people kept asking me for the recordings. And so I actually decided to bunch it all together and make it available for all of you to get access to the entire boot camp and all of the Facebook Live trainings. The boot camp itself has just a ton of value, a ton of strategy, a ton of content, and just a lot of great, rich ideas for all of you to get the year started. Again, for those of you that are in the inner circle already, you guys get access to this in the vault, so you don't have to worry about it. But for those of you that are not in the inner circle and were interested in joining, or it just wasn't the right time, this is an incredible opportunity for you to get access to the to all of the bootcamp training and everything that was involved in that. So Rivka says, at what point do we put our input when discussing ideas with teachers? Almost never, because the longer you're quiet, they will come up with something. Sometimes it could feel like an eternity, and it really could be a super long time. The input would actually be with a better phrased question. So it wouldn't be an input of like, try this idea. It would be rephrasing your question to trigger a better part of their brain. So for example, if you want the person thinking more creatively, so for example, let's say you gave like some ideas and no one's thinking creatively, I would do an exercise with them on helping them think more creatively. And those exercises are actually in the Effective Meaning Blueprint course that you have access to, Rivka. So that is just a couple of exercises of how to just get someone's brain to start thinking creatively. I would try that before I would give an idea. And the reason that you're holding back is because you want to show your people, I believe in you, that you're smart enough to figure this out. And they are. So even if they come up with something, like tell them like, I'm going to give you guys 10 minutes. I want you to come up with something and then leave the room. Okay. So we spoke about this a lot at the boot camp. Leave the room and come back. Your physical presence is extremely intimidating to teachers. You're the boss. It doesn't matter how friendly you are. It doesn't matter if you're their mom, your sister, aunt, cousin. It doesn't matter. You are the boss and you're intimidating. And your opinions are not opinions. They're orders, period. Okay. As soon as you hit that position, your opinions are orders. And so that's why you have to refrain so much from sharing your opinion and just ask better questions. So I hope that helps. And I hope that answers your question also, Manu, as well. So let's see, we had a bunch of people come on live and then a bunch of people went quiet. So Tina and Anita, Karen, Barbara, tell me if this resonated with you. At what point can a director step in to align it with the goal intended for the curriculum? Sometimes ideas are half-baked. I guess I need to figure out how to help complete the idea. It's fine if it's half-baked. That doesn't close the school down. You're not going to be closed down by the government. You're not having the Department of I don't know what come in and close your school because the goal is half-baked. Use that as a reflection piece. Going back to how do you help teachers learn from their mistakes? That's a Facebook Live training that I did. Compare it to the standard. What's the standard of your curriculum? So when the idea is half-baked and you're bringing the teacher back in, you're going to present it with, this is the standard, this is what happened. How are we aligning it again? Tell me what some of your ideas are, okay? So you're the one that's helping bridging the gap. You have to ask the right questions. So we spoke about that a lot at the boot camp and the Facebook Live. So check out the link that I just posted over here. so you could get access to it. I actually think it would be a perfect opportunity for you. So that is that for tonight. Can we say encouraging phrases like, yeah, of course. So I love what you asked, Rivka. Encouraging phrases are things like, I'm going to give you guys 10 minutes. I'm going to step out. I'll be back in here in 10 minutes. Or even something like longer, like if you want them to marinate on their goals, tell them, come back to me in 2 days. Like, let's regroup in 2 days from now. Like, I want you to really think about it. Time sometimes is the biggest opportunity for the teacher to actually see that you're not rushing anywhere. You want her to do this on her own, right? It's like the kid that's learning how to tie their shoes. Don't teach your child how to tie their shoes when you have to catch the plane. That's not the time to teach your child how to tie their shoes. Not the time. Tie your shoes, get on the plane, okay? Time to teach your child how to tie their shoes, lots of other opportunities. So again, there's a time and place, but if you're always rushing to the plane and you're always rushing somewhere, you'll never teach your child how to tie their shoes. So that's why it's important to create these opportunities that are more open-ended, that do have time. So you show your people you actually do want them to learn how to do this on their own. It does resonate. I love watching my teachers take ownership of an idea and turn that idea into reality into the class. Yeah, it's incredible. Again, there's something so unbelievable about watching your staff blossom in that kind of way. All right. I am going to check out. Again, we try to keep these Facebook Lives super short, super sweet. Again, for those of you that were interested in the bootcamp training and in all the Facebook Lives that we did in the past 2 weeks, you could go back, watch the recordings. There's a ton of ideas and content, great questions. I always end up over-delivering and over-promising and just over-giving stuff. So check out the EC Leadership bootcamp link that I just posted over here. I will see you ladies tomorrow night. We're going to be talking about, I don't remember, I think how to bring in more creativity at teachers' meetings. So check the events tab and I will see you then. Ciao for now.